What's going on, everyone? The Airy Lord is back for another Walking Dead vlog. Yes, I actually am live and making updates for The Walking Dead. I guess I can just start with an apology on my end, because I know I've been a little more absent from the channel and Walking Dead news and stuff like that coming and going. Personally, just been very, very busy in my life. Had to do a complete move. So when you see reaction videos or whenever I turn the webcam back on, you will see a very different setting than you did that small room with the door was right behind it. You had the dresser that was on the left-hand side. There was like the King Ezekiel poster that was kind of like hidden in the background. That's gone. I mean, I had to do a total move and just some things changing around. But, I still have a zeal and enthusiasm for The Walking Dead. I don't want any of my fans to think that I've abandoned the show, that I'm not really into it as much. Because, again, keep in mind, we're still a few weeks away from Season 10. Like, because the length of duration between the Season 9 finale and the Season 10 premiere is a big one. And so over the summer, did some coverage. Obviously, I did the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, which is like the one I always do. I covered little topics here and there that came out whenever there was a new poster or something. Now, there have been some things that I haven't covered lately, such as there was there's a whole bunch of previews they've been doing. Silence the Whispers. They've been talking up the Carol-Daryl dynamic. Samantha Morton, who plays Alpha, has done some individual teasers with the Whisperers, and they've been putting that on Instagram. I follow them on Instagram, Facebook, so I'm seeing all this stuff usually on a daily basis, and it keeps the show fresh in my mind. But I also know that the show's not coming back for a few weeks now. I mean, I think it's the first or second week in October. So I mean, there's still about a month or less to go here, and obviously, we'll resume with the reaction videos. That was really fun to do. Like I said, Season 9 really kind of put the defibrillators and jump-started the series, in my opinion. I think that it had a lot of things interesting going into it, especially since it was Rick Grimes' final episodes. You had the whole Whisperers being introduced. There were just the head pike scene, which was a major scene from the comics. I think Season 9 had a lot of stuff, and I had made a few vlogs after Season 9 ended talking about, is this the best season of the show? Are we maybe a little more hopeful because Angela Kang kind of turned this around? People were kind of pessimistic after the slow pace of Season 7 and 8. Also, the fact that Rick was leaving, Andrew Lincoln was leaving, so people were kind of freaking out. Then the movie announcement came out, and then Season 9 kind of reassured people, I think, in my opinion. And now I'm on to Season 10, which is this this is pretty much, in my opinion, going to be the last season of the Whispers, and we might even get the Commonwealth getting teased towards the second half. But I think and I'm going to actually pose this theory to you guys, because this is kind of like an interesting theory as to why I'm not as overly super enthusiastic about, because I've been thinking man, I'm going to follow the show, and obviously I'm really interested to see the Rick Grimes movies, but, am I getting the Walking Dead fatigue? Has it been going on too long? I'm trying to figure that out. And one thing I realized is that the comic book, and I covered that over the summer, when Robert Kirkman had the last issue of the comic book 193 that just spawned out of nowhere. Issue 192, Rick Grimes is killed, and then issue 193, it's a giant time jump, and we see the world, how it was transformed, and Carl's older with a kid of his own, and it's crazy. It's just crazy that Kirkman just kind of closed the book as quick, because people thought this shit was going to go on for at least 2 more years, 300 issues, whatever the heck they thought, and they thought that he had more ideas. Maybe he was going to address the zombie virus, how it started, despite the fact that he said he wouldn't. We thought maybe there would be some investigation into that, but really the Commonwealth, and I wasn't a huge fan of that Commonwealth arc, and that was kind of almost like this lowish point, and just the way that Rick was killed, it was just I just thought it was an underwhelming way, and of course Kirkman would say, well, that's the point for it to be underwhelming, but for me, one thing that was always cool was that as I would watch the show, month to month, the comic book would have that would give me the direction of like where the show was going, because I would be like, ooh, that's a really cool scene in the comic. I can't wait to see how the show does it. And that would go on. Now, with Rick and Carl both not being in the show, that obviously changes things immensely, because Carl's dead and Rick is off in Helicopterville. But I was always at least interested as to how they would adapt it with the TV show. But now it's kind of like the show is now, it's building towards a finale now. Now the show has the end point, which is a very strange end point they really can't even end on, because it ends with Rick being a martyr. He dies a martyr, and the world is transformed for the better because of his sacrifice, and his legacy of working together is carried on and really just unites this broken post-apocalyptic world. Now, unless the helicopter group and the movie plot crosses over into the show during or after the Commonwealth plotline of The Walking Dead show, we're talking like season 11, 12, maybe even 13, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking 11, 12, because 11 will be I'm imagining 11 is going to be the Commonwealth in its entirety, and then 12 will be the waning days of the Commonwealth, and then maybe if they do this, the crossover with the Rick Grimes movies. That would make, in my opinion, the most sense, because how else do you have Rick Grimes, like how do you have the movie plot matter to the world of the original show? That's the big question I have going forward for me. Like, how do you get that to matter? And because if you don't have Rick in some way cross over back over to the show that he started on, I don't know how, like, because Michonne is leaving this season, and she's going to be in most of season 10, but, like, Michonne is one of those pivotal characters, and she's leaving, so really you only have Carol and Daryl, and I just don't, like, is Daryl really going to be the one that takes over the Rick role and is the guy who's killed, and he's the martyr? It's like, but Daryl's always been, he's taken leadership roles, we saw that in season 9, but Daryl has... He's not the leader type. He's more of the lone wolf hunter. And we've seen that in previews of season 10. Like, he's not going to get up on a pulpit like Rick does before his death in issue 192. He's not going to get up on a pulpit, or issue 191. He's not going to get up on a pulpit with a microphone and start giving giant speeches. And Norman Reedus said this, that Daryl is his own character and that he's not... the speech the speech that Rick gave at the end of season 8 when he let Negan live, and he was saying that, you know, we're life, that's death. And you could kind of argue that was his big speech, that after the defeat, the end of the Savior arc, that was Rick's big speech about life. It obviously what he wanted to embody, what his son had kind of sacrificed himself for. So they can't do it the same way. I mean, and that's that's the way the comic ends. So how does the show end? I guess that's the very simplistic question at the end of this rant. How does the show end? That's kind of the question that I kind of need, for me, answered at this point, because I don't see how that's possible. I just don't see how it's possible unless you have the movie plot line with Jadis and the helicopter group, unless you have that crossover. So I know that was kind of a long, not really rant, but really a long talk about The Walking Dead. And it's none of that is an excuse for why I haven't been making vlogs. Like I said, I've been very, very just occupied and with things going on in my personal life, and I also want to make sure that people are into the vlogs. Like, are you guys, I kind of want an opinion poll in this. If, like, are you guys waiting for the reaction videos for season 10? Because when I put out the vlogs, you know, the number of comments and stuff that I get, it's, again, like, I want to make sure that I'm doing this for an audience. And if I'm just doing it just putting out vlogs that really aren't garnering attention in the community. Like I want to make sure that I'm kind of engaging and I have the audience and that we're all having fun talking about this show and the new things that are going on in this post Rick Grimes world. Like I want to make sure all of you guys are engaged, and if you want me to make more vlogs, if there's a topic I'm not covering, just let me know, because again, I put up other things on the channel. You probably saw, it was like National Dog Day. I just decided to put up a video on my dog. I've been unboxing the limited run games, Jack collections. I put those up too. Borderlands 3 is a huge game that I'm anticipating, and my YouTube channel used to be video game stuff. So it would, I guess, make sense and also not make sense to put up gameplay, but I just feel like most people already have, like, again, YouTube is not what it used to be. I mean, back when I was making videos in 2012, putting out Borderlands 2 videos, there was a real chance that you could compete and try to get your name out there. But now the ad revenue it's very different, and there's just there's just too many people trying to do it. And then you have other distractions like Twitch. So it's not, 2012 was, despite the fact that there were still some YouTubers, that was still infancy year for YouTube in many ways. And I made video game stuff also because I was in high school and I had the free time to do it. I made a lot of video game content and had that partnership with that Machinima that now doesn't exist, which is just another sign of the times. So I've asked this before, and most of my Walking Dead fans have said that they don't care about what video game crap that I put out on my channel. I'd pretty much just be preaching to a choir, and I want to make sure that the content that I'm putting out, like, has some people interested in it. Like, because there were videos in the past where I would just put out video game footage, and it never, like, nobody, like, the interest just wasn't there. And so I'm not just going to fill my YouTube channel with just random gaming videos, or even in this case, like, I don't want to make random Walking Dead vlogs covering certain topics if you guys don't want me covering those topics. That is one of the reasons that I stopped doing the Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 review vlogs, because I just didn't, there just wasn't even enough material. Like, going in and seeing how the back half of Season 5 is progressing, like, I don't know what I would talk about. And that was why I said I'd stop doing it. Every single vlog turned into a ginormous rant about why Fear the Walking Dead was a mess, a failure. They had talked up the helicopter group and had me excited, and they just let that plot line go, said they're just going to leave it for the movies, and they just left me utterly disappointed. And so I just kind of, all the wind, to use an idiom here, cliche, all of the winds kind of went out of my sail in terms of Fear the Walking Dead. So I had this Walking Dead content going, and then I was like, all right, I'm not doing Fear the Walking Dead anymore, and The Walking Dead's not on. So I kind of have to take a step back and just say, let's just talk about different topics that come up. And that's what I've tried to make the channel. And so, again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. 2019, earlier this year, I took a huge investment. I had the interview I did with the freakish artist, Stephanie, who is the Australian Photoshop wizard artist who lives on Instagram and does great collages of Walking Dead and other shows. I did an interview with her, and she actually made me a new banner for my channel, because my old channel banner had like the Machinima logo, it had gaming stuff, and because my channel wasn't really gaming anymore, I needed a new banner a banner that screamed Walking Dead, and so she very graciously made that for me, and so that was like a big thing. That was like a step in me trying to, put a brand behind my Area Lord Walking Dead stuff. And, I don't want that to go to waste. And I know for a fact that I'm still going to be interested in the show. as long as season 10 keeps delivering. There's still a lot of actors on there that I love following their arcs and what they're doing. And also, I'm going to Walker Stalker Atlanta with a gold pass in the middle of October, and I plan to just take vlogs and just put them on the channel. Like, really just, I don't know if I'll make one big compilation or if I'll just take random vlogs of different stuff that I'm doing. Because, again, I love doing that kind of stuff. And I've been doing it for so many years, and it's like a great little escape for me to talk with you guys and talk about topics that I like to discuss. And to go to Atlanta, Georgia, I've never even been to Atlanta, let alone the state of Georgia before, to go around and be at my gold pass is going to allow me to cut the line and meet so many people. There's so many actors they've been announcing on the Walker Stalker Facebook page for this event, and I'm going to get, I don't know how many videos I'm going to get, but in terms of photos, I'm going to get a lot of good photos, and I'm excited. I'm really excited because you guys get to see me meeting the actors and actresses that you've seen on the show, and I hope that you enjoy it. I mean, when I went to the Walker Stalker Con in Boston, there was only about three or so actors that were at that event, and I had the basic general pass, and it didn't allow me access to the greater quantity of talent that was there. And so now this gold pass for, a little bit extra money, it was a little bit of it was a little expensive, but it's going to allow me to meet just in one fell swoop, one convention, just meet all these people, because Atlanta is the one that's the one that's closest to their filming location, and that's kind of like the one to go to. And so I'm kind of glad that I'm going to get that chance. So this is just, again, this vlog was a general update. I talked about the comics ending and why I'm kind of questioning where the direction of the show is going. So that's given me some doubt. Fear the Walking Dead was a total failure, so I haven't, that kind of let me down in terms of the show. And then the summer just was generally slower. I mean, other than once I quit Fear the Walking Dead, there wasn't much Walking Dead stuff other than little teasers, Silence the Whispers, but it's all stuff. When I did the trailer breakdown, we saw most of that stuff, and so they're not going to spoil anything more. We know that Oceanside gets some emphasis. We know that there's the border with Alpha, and they're doing stuff differently, and so I don't want to beat the dead horse here, and so I'm trying to make content where you guys enjoy it, where these vlogs are worth it. And do you like the picture format where you can't see my face, or do you want the format where you can see me talking to you just directly one-on-one? So these are all things that I'm just wondering, as a content creator, someone who wants to continue doing stuff on the channel as long as The Walking Dead remains popular. I know it's not as popular as it was 3 years ago when, the season 6, I say the height of the popularity of the show, where it reached that climax and then it kind of dipped down, was the cliffhanger with Negan. When Negan was introduced, and then when Glenn and Abraham got their heads smashed, I think that was where the show started. Season 7 was where you saw the drop, and I think that was where people were kind of where are we going in the plot of this show? Because it was very slow, and as much as I enjoyed it, I know not everyone has the patience for that. So that's about it from me. Just about hit the 20-minute mark. I don't want to make this vlog too long. I mean, it's already long by most standards. I mean, you could just listen to this as a podcast. It really, this video at least, if I do a picture with my face where I have a webcam, that's different. But, so let me know, guys, what you think the best route is. You think that I should invest in? What types of vlogs do you want to see? This is just a general update for the channel, because again, I have been away from it. I did have a lot of personal things in my life going on that have distracted me from YouTube stuff. I believe last time around this time last year, I was actually doing NFL vlogs. And I still watch football rigorously, but after there was really not that much interest in my Patriot vlogs, because I'm a Patriot fan, nobody really wanted to like I just stopped. That was a decision I made because my the viewership was low. Walking Dead fans were confused, so I just said, all right, I'm gonna drop these vlogs, which was unfortunate because the Patriots actually went on an unexpected run as underdogs to the Super Bowl last year and won it, which was great. I put those videos on my channel. I mean, my channel is as much an archive for some stuff that relates to my life, like my dog and stuff like that. But the Walking Dead stuff right now should take up the majority of the content. So, and being that the case, I want to know what type of content the focus should continue to be on. Do you want predictions for characters, predictions for plot lines, comic stuff that we might see in the show, general announcements? Again, when the show starts up, no question, reaction videos. That's gonna be the big thing. I'm gonna do like season 10, episode 1, reaction, and see how many are people back into it. Am I gonna see all the the familiar face people jump back into the vlogs and all that stuff? Like we're gonna see and we're gonna test that. So all right. Anyway, sorry to have made this vlog so long, but I just had a lot of, and I'll put this in the description of the video so you guys can just read it quickly so you don't have to listen to the whole thing. Again, I know there's a million YouTube videos, so many things to do. Not like the old days where you could just leave a video on like this and watch the whole update. A lot of people are kind of jumping out to grab your attention, and I'm fortunate enough that you were watching my content and listening to me talk about The Walking Dead, which is a show that I just love for the themes and the characters and everything that is involved with that. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. This is the Area Lord signing out. I will see you soon enough for new Walking Dead content. Peace out.